Hi, my name is Hannah Abrahams. I'm an educational and child psychologist and a member of the Zoono family panel. I spend my days working with children and families all across London, and I have the pleasure of meeting hundreds of them with regards to helping to support their learning needs, their social and their emotional needs. Before I look at some top tips for helping your children to feel connected, I wanted us to think a little bit about our emotional needs right now. And I know it might feel a little odd, but if you think about when you ever get on an aeroplane, the air stewardesses or stewards will talk to you about putting on your oxygen mask. And actually, in times of crisis, and this is very much an unprecedented time right now in our lives, as parents and as teachers and as employees, we need to put our oxygen masks on first in order to meet the needs of those around us. And for you, that will be your children, your infant, your baby, your toddler, your adolescent even. You need to fill your cup and put your oxygen mask on first. What we know is that children have incredible abilities to mirror our behaviours. And if we're able to help to regulate our own emotions, we're ultimately modelling those reactions and those traits to our children as well. And one of the things that I think is really, really important to consider is our five senses and using our five senses as a way of grounding ourselves. If your toddler is having the most almighty tantrum, screaming and kicking and lying on the floor because they haven't got another chocolate raisin, ultimately it's going to impact you and how you respond in that moment. So by reaching into your toolbox, it might be that you literally just go and stand outside if you're able to, just for a couple of minutes, to ground yourself literally in the floor, to feel your feet on the floor. It might be that you give yourself what I call a koala cuddle, which is you put your hand on your heart, you feel how fast your heart is beating. It might be that you use exercise as your kind of regulatory behaviour. It could be that you dance like nobody's watching. I know many people have been doing that recently. It might be that you paint. It might be that you just engage in a Play-Doh activity, that sensory feedback helps to ground you and your child. And ultimately, just by doing that, you're engaging with your parasympathetic nervous system. You're bringing down those big emotions, and you're also modelling that to your child. Feeling connected helps us with regards to how our brains work, with regards to how emotionally we might be feeling right now. We have found the most incredible ways of staying connected recently, and I wanted to think with you about additional ways or creative ways of remaining connected. So I wanted to think about some ways of feeling connected and staying connected during these challenging times. For some children, they are going to be desperately missing their friends, but it's about them knowing that they have them in their minds and in their hearts. And there are some lovely activities that you can do. One is to send a hug. So if you ask your child to lie down on the floor, if you've got some paper, open out their arms in an outstretched way and just draw around them. Cut that out, so the head, shoulders and arms of your child, and maybe you can write a little message that's been given by your child to their friend. Write the message on the arms, colour it in together, engage in the cutting activity, and see if you can post that to one of their friends. It's so meaningful to a child, and ultimately what they're doing is they're saying, I'm really missing you right now. I'm really missing that physical contact that I have with you in the playground, and I'm sending you a hug. Another thing to do is to set up meaningful and engaging activities with their teacher or with a grandparent or somebody who is a very key person in their life. could be on a telephone FaceTime call that they engage together in a game of Pictionary, or in a game of Scrabble or chess if they're slightly older. I've noted games like hide and seek with grandparents and children, or friends and children in homes that they are familiar with. Playing with Play-Doh together, even engaging in a baking activity together whereby each person mirrors it. And of course, as the parents, you will have to be there online to navigate and manage this with your child. The magic of writing a little postcard to a friend or to a family member and receiving one back is incredibly meaningful and ultimately will build memories. One activity that I know that I've encouraged is to create memory bottles. So if you have an old jam jar or a pasta sauce container that you can wash out, if your child is kind of from age 7 or 6 upwards, they can write about the activities that they've been engaging in during lockdown with you at home, and they can bury it somewhere, either if you're lucky enough to have a garden or somewhere near their home. And when this is all over, they can be encouraged to bring it back up again and to discuss those memories with the person with whom they ultimately wanted to share that with. If your children have small world play, so things like Lego, or if they have a little doll's house with some toys in, their key person that they're really missing can actually engage in a short muzzled game with them on the phone. So that person might be a grandmother, let's say, and she takes on the role of specific characters in the doll's house, and your child takes on the role of the characters that she wants to and navigates the play. And ultimately, it's really, really therapeutic as well, because what you might find is that your child starts to tell the story of their experiences and what they're feeling right now. So don't lead the child, let the child lead you, and he or she will tell you all about things that are going on in their little heads and that they are trying very hard to process. Another activity that I know that has been really, really grounding for people, and we've been blessed with the most incredible weather, is to engage in activities together outside. Now, that might be that the key person in that child's life that they're not able to see right now creates a scavenger hunt, and with a list of clues that are sent before the phone call to encourage the child to find certain things outside, a dandelion, to look together at the seeds that they might be growing and nurturing together, or to find a special twig that's got a message on it, something like that. But I think engaging in nature as well is incredibly important right now, and ultimately, we need the children to move. We need the children to be outside. We know that it also supports their emotional regulation, and they learn so much through nature.